they call me. I promise that you'll never be lonely. Peter Pan, that's what they call me.
Hey guys, happy Monday and happy belated Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. I hope you had a wonderful day. I am Erin Bull, and today we are looking at the Red Table Talk interview with the Curry wives and Jada, her daughter Willow, and her mother Adrian. Before we get into that video, please go ahead and let me get the thumbs up here. Please leave comments throughout the video. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. And once we're done here, join me on Facebook to continue the conversation. So for this video, it's kind of clips of it. So just bear with me. I have recorded, or I've cut up the video for you, and we're going to talk about it and break it all the way down. And let me know your thoughts and opinions.
Sonia, the matriarch, married NBA veteran Del Curry 30 years ago. Their oldest son, Steph, is one of the greatest players ever. He was just 15 when he met Ayesha, who became his wife, and a one-woman empire. She's a superstar chef, a cover girl, and the mother of their 3 children. Their middle child, Seth Curry, is also an NBA baller. He's newly engaged to Callie Rivers, the mother of his child, and daughter of NBA legend Doc Rivers. The youngest Curry, Sadell, is a social media influencer who married yet another NBA player, Damian Lee. Therapists.
Okay, so that's an introduction to everyone that was at the Red Table. This next clip is all of the ladies talking about their experiences with anxiety. So I'm going to go ahead and play it, and then we'll talk about it as well.
And that's helped me. Does your anxiety sometimes get so bad that you'll black out? Like,
no, not in a while. In situations like if I'm not really good around a lot of people, so if I have to be around a lot of people, if I have some kind of event, then I will black out. Like I won't remember anything about what I just did.
I have anxiety too, really, really bad, to the point where I actually take like medication for it. And I think it's something that, you know, everybody in some way has moments where they, and I think like open communication and like putting your feelings out on the line, like that helps me a lot. It's like just letting somebody know, like, kind of having an anxiety attack right now. Like,
I get it. I literally get it.
you deal with a lot of anxiety too. What are some of the things that you do? What are some of your techniques to kind of deal with your anxiety?
Recently, I've been like I just get really frustrated, and like I feel like there's just so much energy. Like I get frustrated, and then in my head, I'm like I feel manic. So like lately, I've just been like dropping down and just doing some push-ups. No, realistically, like the other day, I just did it on the street because I was having a conversation with one of my friends, and I got very upset, and I was just like, I need a
little bit of adrenaline.
exactly.
We've struggled because with the kind of anxiety that she deals with versus the kind of anxiety I deal with, they're very different. You know, because she could be sitting in her room with thoughts and have a moment.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm just like, what
How
is
do you do
happening? Like, you're in here alone. What is going on? So I really had to learn how to just be able to listen to her.
What I've learned too, and what you've taught me as well, is if you feed it.
Yeah,
You
that was the
feed
other
it,
thing.
and like for me personally, it's like I'll go into a whirlwind, and I'm like, life sucks, everything's terrible. I'm gonna and everything.
Tantrum.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, May is Mental Health Awareness Month, for those of you that are not aware. And I think that this was a perfect opportunity for them to make mention of that, and also to, I guess, emphasize that it's okay to seek counseling, treatment, therapy, or something. I think that they missed the mark on this. I mean, if you pay attention, especially to Willow, she definitely needs some counseling or some therapy. And I'm not knocking her, but I think it's a little bigger than her just being able to handle it herself. And I think that this is a common misconception amongst black people that, we don't go to therapists, we don't get counseling unless you're just truly crazy. Like if you're not out here killing people or murdering or suicidal, then you don't need to get any mental health assistance or counseling therapy or something like that. And also, if you notice, as after Willow was explaining how she gets with her panic attacks or her anxiety attacks, her grandmother says it's almost like a tantrum. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Anxiety attacks or panic attacks are not tantrums. Tantrums are something that children throw or immature adults throw when they don't get their way or they can't get something that they want. A panic attack is, trust me, it's not something that you can control. If you could avoid having a panic attack, you would. So for it to be reduced to or minimized to saying that, oh, it's like a tantrum, no, it's not. There's not like a certain thing you can just give somebody to calm them down during a panic attack, unless, medication. But it's bigger than that. And, I think that these ladies could have emphasized the need for counseling. This is 7 women sitting at a table. 6 of them have expressed a mental health issue. 1 sought counseling in the past. And obviously, based on this conversation, none of them are currently seeking therapy or counseling. And I think that's a problem in our community. All right, let's go to the next clip, which is actually a positive message that Ayesha put out about maintaining your individuality while staying married.
One of the 10 of why I need to make sure that I have something for myself as well as my marriage, because one, it's going to make me happy and full. I'm going to be a better parent.
Yep.
2, it's going to make my husband a better person as well, because then he has this strong woman next to him who, has her own wants and needs and knows what she wants.
Exactly.
And so I feel like I have greater value and passion, and I'm just a happier person that way.
Yeah, definitely.
Something that...
Okay. Now, the importance of that clip was because I think that the conflict between men and women is women having this sense of independence. And I think that was an excellent explanation of how to be an independent woman without dominating your man or alienating your man. And I think it gave a little more insight as to why it's important for women to maintain some sort of independence from her man. All right, and the next clip is the one everybody's been talking about and waiting for, so I'll let her dig her own hole on this.
Really bothers me and honestly has given me a sense of a little bit of an insecurity is the fact that there are all these women throwing themselves, but me the past 10 years I don't have any of that. I have zero, this sounds weird, but male attention. And so then I begin to internalize it, and I'm is something wrong with me?
You're not looking.
What?
You're not even. But I'm gonna tell you something else too. When your radar's turned off, because I dealt with that for years too. And I was young, like you.
Yeah,
oh my god. I mean,
because I don't want it, but
it'd be nice to know that someone's looking. But when your radar's turned off, right? That could get beautiful.
Okay. So there it is. She said that it was a bunch of things in there. So I'm trying to break it down. Number 1, her sense of insecurity seems to come from what is happening to her husband. And one thing, that's women throwing themselves at him. It's not like he's out there entertaining the women or encouraging it or whatever. He is just being a phenomenal athlete, a God-fearing, family-loving man, which is attractive in itself. Not to mention that he is rich, which is going to attract attention. And I think that it almost came across like she's trying to compete. You would feel better if you had more men coming for you, since he has women coming for him. That's be out of his control. you know. And also, I mean, to be seeking male attention outside of your marriage is a little strange. I find that I think it's a little disrespectful, and it casts a little doubt on her husband, as if maybe he is not the man that we have all imagined him to be. He's not handling his business, or you know, he's not doing what he needs to do as a man, when we all have this like image of him being perfect, I guess, or perfect as people come. And this is a public platform. This is a public platform. So to be honest, she wasn't necessarily wrong for saying these things, because it is obviously how she feels. So speaking your feelings is not wrong, but there's a time and place for everything. And when you're in a marriage, when you're in a relationship or a marriage, but especially a marriage, you never want to cast any doubt on your spouse. You don't want to disparage them publicly. Nobody's perfect. We know that man ain't perfect. We know she ain't perfect. We know we aren't perfect. That's understood. But you never want to open that Pandora's box. Like, hey, this man ain't perfect. What can you do? Like that's how it came across to me. At first, you know, I mean, and I've watched this clip, or this video, actually, the entire interview, several times, just wrestling with it, trying to get an understanding on what is going on, why is she feeling this way. And I put, you know, I thought about it. And I think that, for one thing that has to be understood is that we as women go through these periods of insecurities as we go through life. Especially for women that have children, their bodies change. Some people can snap back and some don't, you know, and sometimes there's just a permanent change after you have children. And then when you're with someone for so long, you start to wonder, is it me or is it the things that I do? Because now, you know, I'm your wife, I'm a mother, I'm a cook, I'm a teacher, a nurse, you know, a counselor, the shopper, the financial advisor. When do I get to be Aaron or Ayesha? You know, sometimes you lose your sense of self, and you feel like you become the things that you do, as opposed to the people that we are individually, I guess. I'm trying to give her a leg to stand on, and I'm hoping that, you know, it wasn't meant the way that it came across. And also with that, I think that sometimes, well, not sometimes, but if we're honest, we know that there are certain things that a man cannot say to his woman, his wife, his girlfriend, or whatever, even if it's true. So if a woman has gone through some changes and she's now different than what she used to be, especially if it's a physical difference. If she is physically different than the way she was when they first got together, that man cannot say, baby, you done fell off. You look a little plump. You're not as attractive as you used to be, or this, that, the third, or whatever. He can't. And maintain peace, not maintain peace. So I think that maybe Steph is saying these things. You know, you're beautiful, you're attractive, you still got it, I still want you, and this, that, the third, or whatever. But it's almost like an automatic response. Like that's your only thing you can say. So when you step outside and you have this man, hey baby, let me holler at you, let me see. You don't want to mess with him, but at least they checking for you, and it reinforces what your husband is saying. Maybe. And another thing about this is that it's self-esteem. It's self-esteem. And y'all know what Cat Williams said. It's esteem of yourself. And I think it's unhealthy for you to tie your self-esteem to what someone else thinks. At some point, you have to get to a level Either way, you accept yourself as how you are and you're comfortable with that, and you have that sense of confidence in who you are as you are, or you take the necessary steps to change it and get to a point to where you are comfortable with yourself, no matter what he or any other man or woman thinks about it. I think that that is just an unhealthy message to put out there, that my sense of self-worth or my sense of value depends on what men think about me or what men think about a woman. That's not a healthy sentiment, and it causes a lot of problems down the road. And also, well, listen, there's one more other part of this clip that I want to show before I get into a wrap up.
We'll start with you. It says, Ayesha, Steph seems so perfect. Does he ever lose his temper? Catherine from LA. It's sickening. It's something that gets on my nerves. It really does. He does not have a temper. The only time I've ever seen him have a temper is on the court when he's gotten in trouble and it's caused an uproar. When everybody's like, oh, he's this person. He's not. Right. He is the nicest, most humble, calm human being I've ever encountered. It's part of why I love him so much. He needs to be that way for me because I have a temper. Got it. Right? Sorry, Catherine from LA.
Okay. All right, well, there you have it. So, in conclusion, let's see, we've gone through a lot of different things. I think the main messages to take away from here is, number one, the need for mental health awareness by Black people. It's okay to seek help. I think that that was definitely a message that was missed in this interview. And also, I think that these are healthy conversations that we as women don't have the opportunity to have with each other. I think that when you can get a large group of women together and they are not arguing and they are, pretty much on the same page about, I guess, just enlightening, the world to the Black woman situation, I can appreciate that. As far as Ayesha Curry's remarks, I do think that she really kind of disrespected her husband. And if she didn't mean to do so in the statement she made about seeking outside male attention, she certainly threw some shade when she answered that question about it's sickening that he doesn't have a temper. Baby, let me tell you, there's a lot of us out there wishing that our men did not have a temper. Trust me. And again, that was an opportunity for you. That just didn't even have to be said if you didn't want to cast shade or doubt on your husband. You could have just left it at, no, he really is a wonderful person. The way that he is, the way that he appears to be is the way that he is at home. And, I just love it and blah, 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 blah. But how is it going to get on your nerves that he is a great guy? Like, okay. But nevertheless, I still think that this was a necessary conversation. I think it gives some insight into real life situations, real life experiences and feelings as a Black woman. Of course, I don't have any kids, so I haven't experienced that, what they call postpartum change. I haven't experienced that, but I am 37 years old, so I've experienced some changes as a woman. I've had to deal with my own insecurities, but I do. And also, I've said this before. I think that it is sad that we as Black people, we don't get to be individuals. We do not get to be individuals. When one of us speaks, we now speak for the collective. And as an example, once Ayesha made her statements about her own life and how she feels, it was just widely applied to Black women in general. Like, this is what's wrong with Black women and this, that, the third, or whatever. Nobody said, hey, that's her. That's her life, her thoughts, her opinions, whatever. It doesn't apply to all of Black women or all women. But we don't have that luxury. You know, so we do have to be mindful of that as Black people, that whether we can stand up there and say, these are my personal thoughts, it's still going to be applied to the whole collective. You know, and I don't know why we don't get to be individuals. You know, then you look at like Fox News and especially like that, what's that little girl? Tommy Loren, that one that always got something racist and borderline to say about all the athletes and everything. The one that, yeah. But she is to be an individual. She doesn't speak for all white women or white people in general. But here you have, you know, one basketball wife who is actually in a unique situation, because most of us are not dating, you know, that caliber of man financially anyway. But now she speaks for all of us. And, you know, I'm just here to say she doesn't speak for me. You know, I mean, I can agree with some of the things that she said, but I can't rock with all of it. But nevertheless, as always, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your participation and your support. And please like, share the videos, invite your friends and family to the channel, and come see me on Facebook. Thank you for watching. I am Erin Bull. Have a great week.